Get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here in the drive-thru, Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later, and deliver those winners of professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us we got Zawacky with us, Jay Briggs, Brad Francis, Jovan Burts. We got David Racey, Brian Bitler, James Clark signing about bottom of the hour, and here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Bitler, Racey, Briggs, Francis, Burts, Clark, Zawacky. Then I will close this one out. All right, we know the Super Bowl matchups. Lots of hoops and action on the ice here up until Super Bowl, so we're going to be grinded out here. 12 games on the NBA card. Lots of college. We got a couple of big-time college basketball games on board tonight, as well as some smaller conferences. Action on the ice as well. I think at last check we had like a single game, Ottawa and Nashville tonight. So we're going to get this one underway here in just a second. So let's go ahead and welcome in Brian Bitler. He always gets us started here to start a new week. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Brian in right now. Brian has been on an absolute tear in college hoops. My goodness, look at those numbers. Brian, what's happening?
I'll tell you what, I wish I could just stick with college basketball and forget about the rest. I had the Baltimore Ravens yesterday, lost that, but the two college basketball games came in, so hopefully I can just keep that momentum rolling forward in college hoops for this next week. Yeah,
I mean, top unit producers, we'll talk more about Brian's performances there. You guys want to keep an eye there. He's been on absolute fire, as we said. But we go to the NBA tonight as we see the Dallas Mavericks at home facing this Orlando Magic team. Well, was yesterday the game when preseason? I mentioned in the weekend show that Orlando was kind of in preseason mode, but maybe they're back in regular season mode, having all their guys together. We see Dallas favored 4.5. We see the total sits here 227.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look here at the Orlando Magic traveling to take on those Dallas Mavericks here as my drive-through pick Monday night. Orlando got a nice win against the Phoenix Suns on Sunday, and now on a back-to-back spot here have to face a rested Mavs team at home. But I think this Mavs team has issues. Just 4-6 straight up last 10, and 11-14 against the number at home this season. This Magic team, due to some recent struggles, recent history, starting to get the people jumping off that bandwagon, the Orlando Magic. Dallas, though, just 1-4 ATS last 5. I think their struggles continue at home here. I think the defense will be a big difference between these two teams. Orlando comes in with fourth in the NBA defensive rating here. I think Magic can keep this one within the possession. Dallas wins it, but Orlando gets the cover.
All right, we have Brian here saying go here with the Magic here at +4.5. I'm in a back-to-back here on the road here to face the Dallas Mavericks. And as you said earlier, it's all about the defense, right? Mavericks having their struggles defensively. There'll be no Kyrie Irving in there. Ixom is also on the questionable list here for Dallas. Jones and Powell, which are some supporting cast members. But again, Fultz, it's too hard to ask Fultz to play 2 games in a row. I understand that. I don't think he's played back-to-back games in 4 years. So asking him to play back-to-back might have been a little too much.
Yeah, one of the worst draft picks in the Sixers history, probably Fultz. But, he's just never healthy for more than 1 game at a time. So I guess that's just how he is.
Yeah, and then, of course, unfortunately, that kind of has spread through the match. But it's only Harrison and only Fultz out. So you still have, Wendell Carter, the big guy. That's the guy I always keep an eye on because Carter can rim protect. Boncaro, Franz Wagner, and his brother Moritz came in with a big game the other night. Jalen Suggs, Anthony Black. So you're going to get some production off the bench now as you're getting many of the rotational players back in here for Orlando that we've seen so much here on the injury list the past 4 seasons.
Yeah, they have a big rotation. Plus, they are a younger team. That helps on that back-to-back spot. And I guess against this Dallas team, who definitely is not going to lay down to anybody, desperate to get W's. But I just think they keep it close here, Orlando. Scrappy team. I like those scrappy teams.
Yeah, I mean, you've got guys on the bench: Isaac, Anthony, Ingles, Morris Wagner, Caleb Houston. These are guys that see rotational periods, so they should have some contributions off the bench, and that's something you got to keep an eye on. These bench productions, you should see it pick up here for a match. But anything, you're going to get two units that can play defense. That's a big key here, I think, with this Orlando rotation.
Yep, you got to turn the ball over, force some turnovers for the Dallas Mavericks, get some points off of that. And, when you're deep like Orlando is, and you got 2 rotations out there, I think that'll come into play tonight.
Yeah, I think you get some good defensive rotation here, Mavericks. And again, their big weakness here is defense. We have Brian here on the Magic here, plus the 4.5 here against the Mavericks. This one is on tonight here at 8:30 Eastern Time. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have a 12-game card here from the NBA. Of course, we mentioned here the action here from college basketball. We have a couple big matchups. And then we have a few here, many more in the smaller conferences. But as we said earlier, Brian has been on an absolute tear in college basketball. Look at these numbers here. 2,535 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge Premium. So you can go over there and verify those numbers. Go to Brian's handicapper page. You can see them right there listed for you to check out. All right, Brian, good action tonight. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Well, I got 3 premium plays tonight, 1 NHL, 1 NBA, and 1 in college basketball. But college basketball is my titanium play. 16-3 and 1, 84% last 20 titanium plays. 45-16 and 1 last 62, and 289, 232 and 2 last 523. So the best thing to do, head on over to pickdogs.com every day and pick up that titanium play, or get my 3-pack. I believe it's my Gone Streak 3-pack for $50 at pickdogs.com.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Brian Bitler over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here from Brian. He's been on a tear right now in college hoops, but also doing great for the year. Last 30 days, last 7 days, showing great profit over at Pick Dogs Premium. Maybe may consider the long-term pass. Remember, the 1-month pass will get you all of Brian's premium plays for the Super Bowl, as well as all the college hoops action. This will take you near the end of the regular season, right? We will go right into March 29th. February 29th. So we'll get you right at the edge of the conference tournaments when you get that 1-month all sports pass. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. That will save you 15% off. Also, multi-capper promotions, making it even a greater value there. All right, Brian, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you later in the week. We'll look forward to you next, of course, Friday's appearance, and then, of course, back on the weekends. No longer dog sitting. So we'll see Brian on the weekends again. We got a busy crew up there now. But also, too, like to check out your video series, Contrarian Plays.
Yeah, make sure I'm just about to record one for tomorrow. Make sure you tune into Pick Dogs channel every day for my contrarian selections I post the night before, and I'm definitely going to be there this weekend hanging out with the guys back from dog sitting. Hopefully I can get Mitch going on something. We'll see how the week goes.
See how the week goes, indeed, guys.
Maybe the Hurricanes will lose a couple or something.
Oh, no. Yeah, in one of those moods. We'll see how that rolls. All right. I think they're interviewing I think the Dolphins were interviewing the Staley for defensive coordinator. I don't know how he'll like that. The old former Chargers coach.
We'll see.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's a gem.
Oh goodness. That might get him off the rocker a little bit. So we'll see how hold that until the weekend. All right.
I'm waiting.
All right, Brian. Have a great rest of the week. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when Brian's videos drop, you get them right away. This comes prayer place from Brian. And as you see, he's been on a tear right now in college hoops. All right, Brian, have a great rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you again on Friday.
See you on Friday, Tony. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Brian Bitler here on the drive. Let's continue on. Up next, I'll bring our man David Racey here. Catch him over at Pig Dog Prim. We know he's out there, a big Detroit Lions fan. It was kind of a tough day yesterday. As you couldn't have asked for the perfect conditions in San Francisco for our man Jared Goff. We talked about the temperatures around in the 70s. He got spring-like weather. Goff wasn't in cold weather, but I mean, Goff showed well, I think, in that situation.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but how's the saying go? Good teams win, great teams cover. So at least we covered the 7.5.
That's right.
It got hairy at the end, but yeah, disappointing end to a good season, though. It's easy to be super upset at the fourth down calls and some drop passes and things like that. But it was a great season. I don't think anyone in Detroit expected to be in the NFC title game. So good season, just disappointing end for sure.
Campbell very aggressive. I just need to verbalize it a little bit more. I like to put them. There's certain ways you can verbalize it to shut up the noise, but I just think the players played off his aggressiveness. The fact that he has confidence in that offense.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And to be honest, I'm not even that upset about the fourth downs because that's who he is, and they've won plenty of games this season because of that aggressiveness. At the end of the day, it's down to player execution. And when you have drop passes and fumbles and missed tackles, I mean, good Lord, how many missed tackles did we see from the Detroit secondary? It adds up, and we were fortunate enough that we got out to that good lead. But yeah, it stinks to blow a big lead like that. I think I'd rather lose in a blowout. But either way, solid season. But yeah, the aggressiveness doesn't bother me at all because he's won a ton of games playing that way.
Yeah, and it does charge up the players. I have to agree. It does impact it more than just the play calling. It does impact the execution, where you show the confidence in the players to execute there. And warmer kind of weather might have impact. We saw the defenses kind of get a little worn out there at the end. We'll see how it rolls here. But tonight we go here to college hoops tonight. We move to the SWAC conference as Alabama State on the road here facing Texas Southern. Southern here favored 5.5. We see the total 135.5.
Yes, we head down to the SWAC here with a great matchup. I know these Monday nights. There's two good games tonight, but man, it's tough in college hoops this time of year on Mondays. But Alabama State comes into this one. They've won 3 games in a row. They've won 6 of their last 7, and they're 5-1 in conference play. Currently tied for first in the SWAC. They're getting points here on the road, getting 5.5 or lines up to 5.5 now, and I like them here. Texas Southern, they've won 3 of their last 4. They are 4-3 in conference play. Both of these teams played a really tough non-conference schedule. I won't list them all off, but if you look at this non-conference schedule for both sides, it's crazy the competition they played. So they came in as battle-tested as you can be. You know, they've seen some really good competition. They've been tested for sure. But both teams shooting just really bad from the field. They're both under 39% from the field. Some of that has to do with some of the good teams they played to start the season, but it's a lot of just bad shooting on both teams' parts. The two teams are very similar when you're looking at the metrics. Alabama State is scoring about 4 more points per game, and I think this is a game that could go either way. So I'll gladly take the points here with Alabama State. And Alabama State's 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 road games. So there's a good trend in our direction. So I'll take the points with Alabama State.
All right, we got David here says go ahead and take the points here with Alabama State +5, +5.5. There's a lot. There is, as a matter of fact, the sharpest book in the world 5.5. The sharpest books in Vegas 4.5. So we see some line discrepancies here. I think the guys in Vegas, they really know their college hoops. I think that might be the right side. That's why we see the 4.5 there at these 2 sharp books in Vegas here. And I have to respect those two there. And of course, one thing you got with Alabama State, you have a team that's defending well. Of course, they have played well in conference. 5-1 Alabama State in the SWAC.
Yeah, and one thing about the SWAC, and it's a roller coaster. I mean, any team outside of Mississippi Valley State can win on any night in conference play. It's one of those conferences. There's a handful in college hoops that are truthfully just unknown. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, 5-1, and their last 3 opponents, they've held to 67, 55, and 53 points. So while they are allowing 70 points against per game this year, they've really locked down the last 3 games. I know they're on the road, but really with both teams really poor shooting teams, I really think it's more of a pick 'em. So I think getting the points is a good side to be on.
Yeah, I think we're at that time of the year where you just look at conference stats. There are a lot of stats services out there where you can just toggle and hit conference. Forget about the full state. It's kind of like a horse going up against stakes company, and then they're maiden claiming, and you just look at this maiden claiming races. And it's kind of a class situation, and that's how it works, right? It's basically that a lot of people on my age, probably not your age, because people stopped going to horse the rack track. I think Detroit DRC was a crooked track anyway, but I think it closed down. There was a lot of talk about that track back in the day, but anyway. I think a lot of folks about my age group can kind of look at horse racing, kind of look at the class edge, and when here we're about 6 games in a conference. Just look at the conference set, and you can see Alabama State really performing well here. So we got David here, Alabama State here, +5, +5.5. Dear line shop, and I see 4.5s too out there. This one will be here at 8:30 Eastern Time. ESPN Plus televises the SWAC conference. All right, David, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action on the board here from the NBA as well as college hoops as well. And NHL, single from the NHL as we start to get close to the All-Star break. David's been on absolute tear in the NHL. 2,161 units of profit. That's all documented over at Pick.com. Verify that by going over to David's handicapper page. Go down to Pick History. You can see the plays for you. All right, David, what do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, it's been a great start to the NHL season. I'm kind of bummed out here over the next week or two. A lighter NHL schedule with the All-Star break coming up. But I do have one play in that NHL game tonight. I got 2 NBA, 2 college basketball, so 5 total. I do have a basketball 3-pack, which is my 2 NBA and my best bet in college hoops. So head on over there, join me for the day, or if you're looking for more value, hop on one of those long-term packages or pair me up with one of the other cappers. But whatever you do, good luck tonight, and let's have a good night.
That's right, guys. Get up with David Racey over at Pick.com. Great results here from David. You can see here in NHL, 2,161 units of profit, all documented over at Pick.com. The way David's running, you may consider that 1 month pass. Get all of his premium plays for 30 days. That would include all NHL, include the Super Bowl up there, all your NBA, all your college hoops action up there. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. And of course, now is a great time to take advantage of these all sports passes with these high volume sports overlapping right now, right? NHL, NBA, college basketball. Pick is that promo code. Also will include, are we there yet? No, we're not there with baseball. We'll be March, so that would be May 29th. So we're getting close to that. Almost there.
It's coming quick.
I know, it is coming quick. We're less than 2 months away. That's right, March 20th and 21st is when we start baseball. So you can always renew that and get that in there as well. All right, David, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know, I know there are a lot of guys do video series, but you're one of the writers over at Pick Dogs, one of the featured writers. We can check out your content over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat.
Yep, so one of the free pick article writers over there. So you go to sportschatplace.com or pickdogs.com. Right on the top bar there, you just click on free picks, click on whatever sports you're looking for, and you can get a free pick, get some trends, get some stats, all that good stuff. So head on over to the sites, check it out, completely free. It's a great source of info. That's
right, great source of info. David, very well researched, very respected in the written world out there. So check him out over at Pick Dog Sports Chat Place. I know you guys love watching those videos, but man, we got cappers here that write, and you want to check their content because you get a lot of great information with stats in their breakdown. All right, Dave, have a great week. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, I appreciate it, Tony. Thank you.
You got David Racey here on the drive. Yeah, I got a soft spot for the writers. I used to write. I used to know how hard writing is. It's a lot of work, trust me. Done it many times. Let's continue here on the drive-through. Jay Briggs, we'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Jay right now. Let's see if we can get him in right now, ready to roll. Jay, I think he missed the writing in his career because he came in right at the time during videos. He didn't have to go through the pain of writing. Oh my goodness, it's tough. Jay, what's happening?
Tony T, what's happening, my man? Yeah.
Oh, you don't know how easy you have it now. You don't know how easy.
Yeah.
The grind of writing those 1,000-word articles. Oh my! And all the research. Oh, trust me. You got it easy. All right, here we go. NBA tonight features the Pelicans and the Celtics going head to head here. Celtics are going to be laying 8 in this one. We see a total 234.
Yes, sir. Should be one of the better games on tonight on paper, but in all honesty, I think we're looking at a blowout here. The New Orleans Pelicans, they've been free falling. I haven't liked what I've seen from them recently. Their last 3 games against good teams, Suns, Bucks, Thunder, got smashed in all 3. And on the road here against Boston, the best team in the NBA, in my opinion, well, who has lost back-to-back home games, their only 2 home losses of the season. Yeah, I don't like what I've seen from the Pelicans recently. I think this is just a classic bounce-back, get-right spot at home for the Celtics, the better team. I think they take the Pelicans.
All right, minus the 8. It was. Let's see where we're at now. We saw a 9 earlier, but let's see if there was some buyback here in the market right now on this one. We've got 8s pretty much everywhere now. Forget the 9. It's 8 everywhere. Let's see what we have. Any news here about any of the? I think Porzingis was in question. Let's take a look here. What we got here?
He's out.
Porzingis out. Cornette's out. We got actually a clean injury report for New Orleans. And of course, that was the thing, right? With McCollum, Ingram, and Zion healthy, they should shine. But it hasn't been the case. Just 26-20. A lot more was expected from this Pelicans team.
Yeah, they had a stretch of playing well, but here recently the wheels seem to be off the cart. And I don't think tonight is a spot to fix it against Boston, who's also looking to fix what they've had going on at home recently. So I just think it's a lock-in spot for Boston. I think New Orleans, in the grand scheme of things, they'll be fine. I just think they're going through a tough stretch like we've seen really every other team in the NBA go through this season. So they're just having theirs. I'm trying to pull up who they have up on deck, the Pelicans. They have the Rockets in Houston. Then they have San Antonio, Toronto. So, they got a nice little – and then they got the Clippers, Lakers, then Blazers, Grizzlies, Washington. So they'll be fine. They got some get-right spots coming down the stretch. I think they'll be fine in the grand scheme of things. They'll be a playoff team, I'm expecting. But I just don't think tonight's a great spot for them. I think it's a get right spot for the Celtics.
And some of those people that look at those front end, this is a front end back to back. Don't think too much of it because Boston has a lot of depth. I know they got Indiana tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited for that game tomorrow. It looks like my guy Halliburton will be back in action. So it should be a really good game tomorrow. We'll see if Boston locks in on the front end. Like you said, I'm not really too much worried about it though. If anything, I'm gonna put more emphasis on the back end of the back to back than the front end, personally.
Yeah, you want to get that first one in. We don't have this game covered. I'd like to get your thoughts here as Bucks and Nuggets are going to go at it. We've seen this one drop a little bit, 3.5 in some places, still holding 4 in others. Doc Rivers comes in. This is a kind of a tough chore, right? He's been kind of watching the team from the press box, and now he's got to try to implement some sort of defensive strategy, his system into this team. What are your thoughts here about this? About Doc now taking over the Bucks?
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, I think he is a better fit than Adrian Griffin, but first game to start coaching on the road in Denver, I think is a terrible spot. So I like the Nuggets in that one. I do. The Nuggets, hey, I say it all the time. They go stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib. Now, both of these two teams, they've been winning games. They've won 4 of their last 5, but both teams, they haven't been great against the number. When I just think basketball in this game, though, what I've seen from Milwaukee is in certain stretches of the game, they give up meaningless buckets. They don't have the same defensive tenacity as they've had in years past. I think a lot of that is Drew Holiday's no longer there to kind of emphasize that. But I think that's what gets them in trouble more often than not. And I could see the Nuggets exploiting that. They have a real home court advantage up there in that elevation as well. I just see Jokic having a really nice game, and the Nuggets probably getting this one done comfortably.
What I've noticed with this Milwaukee Bucks team is they get behind and they make a huge run. They've tried it. They have nothing left. I've seen that a lot with this team.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we saw here. Talent-wise, Milwaukee is one of the best teams in the league, record-wise and all that. But ATS, they're just not a trustworthy team. Now, all of that mainly has been as favorites this season. They are dogs here, but they're a sizable dog in this spot for a reason, in my opinion. I think Denver is the better team. They're the defending champs, and I think they get it done at home.
I was reading that Milwaukee played one of the weakest schedules this year. As you could imagine, right? There are some really ugly teams on the East.
Yes, there is. And like we said, talent-wise, Milwaukee should more often than not nightly win games. They have a top 5 player in the league, and Giannis, depending on where most people have him. I think most people have him top 3. And then Lillard, he's been a first-team All-NBA guy. That's what he is. I know this season it hasn't looked all that great, but talent-wise, he's still up there. So more often than not, they should have the more talent on a nightly basis to beat some teams. But ATS-wise is where they get in trouble. They're going to be in the mix of things in the East this year. We'll see if they can get over the hump. They got bounced first round last year. That wasn't cool. So we'll see if they got if Doc can change that up.
Yeah, Doc has a low way. These ex-players. I don't know if you watch some of these video series from some of these ex-players on their podcast on YouTube. Man, they hold nothing back on Doc. Doc is one of them they really target.
Oh yeah, I've watched a couple. JJ was kind of holding them to the fire. There's a couple guys that do it, and I get it. Doc's had some teams, Tony T. He's had some stacked teams, and he's only got one chip. So I get it. But when you look in the grand scheme of things around the landscape, it's kind of like the quarterback conversation. There's only 1-2 guys that are like here, and everybody else is just here. So, and it's kind of the same thing in coaching. So Doc, he's probably towards the top of the coaches in the second level, but he's not up there with probably like Spo, Pop, and Curry.
There you go, Jay here on the Celtics. We can lay the 8. That's where the number is right now. This one tonight here, 7:30 Eastern time. All right, Jay, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, we do have NBA on the board, 12-game card, lots of college hoops as well. Jay doing great in the NBA, 587 units of profit. All documented over at Pick.com. So you can verify those numbers. Simply go into Jay's handicapper page. You'll see all the plays up there. All right, Jay, what do you have going over at the site?
Hey, man, I call a spade a spade. I was ice cold last week. Ice cold. But it's a new week, new goals, new opportunities, man, and I'm looking to turn that around. So when I'm cold, that usually means there's a gigantic heater on the back end of that. And, man, I think tonight it's going to be a great start of that. I got 5 games tonight, all in a mega pack you guys can scoop up. And, of course, I have my NBA play of the day sold separately. You guys can hop on those however you choose. So you can hop on something long-term, or you can pair me up with one of the guys here at Pick Dogs and looking to bounce back here in the NBA this week.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Jay Briggs over at Pick Dogs. Premium. See the great results of the NBA, so get on board. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off on any pass, whether it's a one-day pass or long-term pass. Remember, the one-day passes are credit guaranteed. The amount you turn a profit or the amount you purchase is credit back to your account for side credits. That is credit guarantee. All right, Jay, you also have an all-access plan up there for your big players.
Yes, sir. My all-access club is for the bigger bettors out there. You know, the great thing about the all-access club is it's unit-based play. So here on the site at Pick Dogs, every game is weighted the same. You know, the play of the day is weighted the exact same as my 5th favorite play in the day. On my all-access club, that's not the case. So more often than not, or at least it's been the case this season, when they're weighted, when our favorite plays are weighted heavier, we make more money. It's basically what we're doing in the All-Access Club, and it's been a really solid season over there. So if you guys want to join the All-Access Club, the number for that is 775-636-7674. Text the number is going to be my guy Costa. He'll set up a time to talk and figure out if the package is for you. We'll send you the report and the numbers for the season. It's been a tremendous season. Just trying to keep the momentum rolling forward. Like I said, last week wasn't my best week, but overall it's been a great season, and we got a ton of NBA action coming down the stretch, so we'll bounce back this week.
Bounce back this week. Make sure to call and get that text. Get in touch with Costa to get the all-access from Jay. All right, Jay, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But let everybody know we catch you on those video series, weekend show. You host that, as well as the NBA all-access.
Yes, sir. You can catch my jam session. I drop that every morning as I go through every NBA game on the card. You can catch me on the morning show every morning with Mitch and Chris. Romanelli pops on Wednesday, and Costi on Monday and Fridays. You can catch me usually 3 to 4 times a week here with Tony T, and hosting the weekend shows where I bring in a lot of guys from Pick Dogs here, and they pop in. Guys you see here on the drive-thru, Tony T has been on these last couple weeks. Really been fun. So tune in, man. A ton of content from us here at Pick Dogs. Just trying to help you guys make some money, and love chatting sports.
Absolutely, guys. Love it. Great shows, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when we drop these live videos, live shows, and or video series, you get them and you get the right numbers with the picks. All right, Jay, have a great rest of the night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Hey, going to the Mavs game.
All right.
Let's go, Mavs. We'll see. I know Brian on the other side.
Brian's on the other side.
I don't have a premium play on the game, but as a fan, of course.
You're gonna go. That's good. He goes as a fan there to see how it rolls. No Kyrie tonight. He's
I
out.
got the jersey on, but
yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see how it goes tonight here for this Dallas. You get to see up and close and personal this Magic team that we've been talking up about. We'll see what they look like tonight. You'll see them up there close. All right. Have a great night, Jay. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
See you later, Tony.
Yeah, Jay Briggs here on the drive-thru. All right, maybe follow on social media. Maybe get some of those picks up there with the seats. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Brad Francis up next. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring Brad in right now. Ready to roll. More NBA coverage on this 12-game card. We also have a college basketball coming a little later in the show with one of the marquee matchups. Let's bring in Brad. Brad, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Tony? How we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go tonight. NBA here on the board as the Knicks are on the road to face Hornets. Knicks laying 9 here. Sharpest book in the world. Has them at 9, total 218.5.
Yep, it's a lot of points, but give me the Knicks here all day. I think this one's going to be a blowout with just how both of these teams have been playing. You know, since trading away Rozier, the Hornets have lost and failed to cover in 3 straight games. 2 of those losses were by double digits, and another one of those losses was against the Pistons. I personally think the Hornets are the worst team in the NBA. You know, I would say their roster isn't the worst, but at least like the Pistons play with a chip on their shoulder. When you watch the Hornets, I don't know. I just don't really see that passion for them to win. I don't see the pride really. So, like I said, I think they're the worst team in the league. And when it comes to the Knicks, they're the hottest basketball team right now. I mean, I think they're on a 6-game winning streak, the longest active winning streak currently in the NBA. Looks like LaMelo Ball is out for this one. And even if he was playing in this game, I still think they get smoked. Over this stretch, you know, this Knicks team has just been so efficient, not only on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well. So I just, especially without LaMelo, I just don't see where the points come from the Hornets for them to stay in this. So I'm going to take the hot team here, giving the Knicks laying all these points.
All right, Brad just laid the Knicks here. It's now 9 at every place. It was 10 earlier, but we've seen a little buyback here to 9 everywhere right now in the marketplace. This one is 9, so great Brad here on the 9 tonight in this one. Yeah, we know, and of course, the significant injury with Julius Randle out here for the Knicks. You can add Fournier in there. I don't think it's a serious there. Mark Robinson. Got Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hart. You got some pretty good perimeter shooting there. OG Hartenstein in there. It's interesting you mentioned Rozier. Rozier was a star. This tells you the quality of this Hornets roster, right? Rozier was a starter with Charlotte. He gets traded, becomes a man off the bench. So that tells you a little bit about how poor this roster is for this Hornets team.
Yeah. When you have Rozier as like a starter, one of your main guys, that's not a great sign. He's a great guy off the bench. I think he's going to be a great fit for that Heat team. But exactly, and I mean, you mentioned Julius Randle not playing in this one. That definitely hurts. But in this matchup, I could just see a guy like Jalen Brunson just going off. And like I said, I don't think the Hornets, especially without LaMelo in this one, have the weapons to keep up.
Yeah, it's gonna be really tough for this Hornets team. When they made that coaching change a couple of years ago, they made that the coach got him into the playing round, and then they fire him and they bring in this new coach Clifford, who just was defensive minded, just never worked. It was a terrible hire. I knew it from the get go. When you say we're going to go defense, hey, this is 2023, 2022. You don't do that.
No, exactly. Hey, let me ask you a question, Tony. If there was a 7-game series between the Hornets and Pistons right now, gun to your head, who are you taking in that series?
Oh man,
it's tough.
That's a tough call right there. That's there's no home court advantage. Ball is probably the best player I think on the court, and that's probably what I look at, the fact that you have Ball on the court more than that. I just think that you've got a lot of young guys on Detroit. There's a little bit more continuity here with this Hornets team. And a little PJ Washington can give you some points off the bench as well. So I would and Bridges. I think with a little more experience, I would lean Hornets in the 7-game series in double overtime.
Gotcha. Yep. There you go. I would love to see the series, honestly. But that's when I go back and forth now. I'm trying to figure out who the worst team in the NBA is, and it's definitely between the Hornets and Pistons.
Yeah,
I think there's no question about that. You can maybe throw the Spurs in there, but no.
No, I think the Spurs a little better. Washington has, when Washington has healthy starters, they're a little more decent, but those teams are just pretty bad. All right, we got Brad here next. Lay the 9 now. It's 9 everywhere against the Knicks tonight here at top of the hour. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Now we got a big 12-game card here from the NBA, and Brad has been on fire in the NBA. 1,299 units of profit, all documented over at Pick.com, so you can verify those numbers simply by going to Brad's handicapper page. Some college hoops up there. Single on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
Yep, just a 3-pack this Monday. I actually like this slate a lot, though. It could have been a 5-pack, but I limited it down to just my favorite 3 plays. 1 in the NBA, and then 2 in college basketball. Coming off a sweep yesterday, hit on both the NFL games, so I'm feeling some momentum. I'm ready to get this week off started right, and I'm liking today's basketball slate. So go check that out. But of course, the long-term pass is the way to go. You just get the best value with that. So go to pitdogs.com, check out all my packages, and let's make some money.
Makes money indeed with the Brad Francis over at Pick.com. You see the great results here. Nearly 1,300 units of profit in the NBA this year, all documented over at Pick.com. So verify that by simply going over to Brad's handicapper page, and you can verify that. Long-term pass will serve you well. Remember that 1-month pass includes the Super Bowl, as well as all of Brad's plays from NBA and college hoops and action on the ice as well. The promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll be able to save that 15% off. But now Brad just showing great numbers here. All sports combined for the year, last 30 days. And yesterday, as he mentioned, was on the dogs. It was a dog day Sunday, and you want to get on board with Brad and use that promo code PICK to save that 15% off. All right, Brad, as always, great having you on the show. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know we can catch your video series with those parlays.
Yes, sir. Doing the parlays every single day, so go check that out on Pick Dogs YouTube. Been enjoying them. If you don't want to parlay, you still get 3 free picks from me and analysis on all 3 of those plays. So doing that every day, and then Mondays on the drive-thru with Tony 2.
That's right, guys. So make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, get Brad's video series right when he releases it. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All right, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You as well. Brad Francis here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here. Up next, it's time for Jovan Burts. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Hope you catch him on the weekends. There's a lot of picks, really sharp on his appearances here on the drive-thru, as well as on the weekend show. So hope you guys tune into those. We'll bring in Jovan in right now. Boy, he really took exception. We were kind of joking a little bit. We were comparing Purdy to Trubisky, and we got it stuffed right in his face, as we should have. I'll bring in Jovan right now. Jovan, what's happening?
Hey,
going on, Tony?
It's happening. All right, here we go tonight. This one I was kind of scratching my head with. You're going to be looking at total, I believe, in this one. Lakers and Rockets going head-to-head here. Lakers short favorites a point, total 233.5.
Yeah, and I'm on the under in this one. Now, we got these teams coming in. First off, let me start with the Lakers. They're 3-1 in their last 4 games, but that last one, I think, took a toll on them. Going into triple overtime, and trust me, I was live betting the under in that one and had it dead to rights. And then it went to overtime in some remarkable circumstances. AD Mr. Free throw. And then on the other end of the court, good old Steph ran circles around him and laid it up. And then that was all my live bets and, some plus money live bets too on the under because I was dropping that thing down. It went to the wayside, let's just say that. But anyway, I'm back on the under with these guys again. They're playing the Houston Rockets. When these two teams get together, they seem to, play in low-scoring, slow-paced games. Last, I believe 3 or 4 games stayed under the total. And I think it's going to be a situation where they're going tire legs. And I understand that, people think that being in the overtime games like that or being on second nights of back-to-backs, affect the defense more than it does the offense. But it affects the offense. You can't when you're playing offense, you need your legs to hit jump shots. People don't really think about that. So we're gonna see a lot of bricks on the Los Angeles Lakers side, and Houston, even though they slid defensively as of late, there's still a bunch that needs to play good defense in order to win. And with them being at home, I think that we're going to get a close game and a slow-paced game as this game progresses, and then it's under.
All right, there we go. Jovan here with Lakers Rockets under. This is kind of a very tricky spot here for the Lakers because I'm asking you, this is the front end of a back-to-back. They got Atlanta tomorrow. What are the odds that both Davis and Anthony Davis and LeBron play in both of these games?
Oh, man. I mean, I would say slim to none, but you never know. I mean, they do need to win. Depending on how this it don't roll. What's the status of both AT?
Yeah, they're both questionable. LeBron with that ankle injury, Davis with that Achilles injury. They've been playing through it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they just had that triple overtime marathon classic against Golden State. You just don't know. It could be game time decision, and then all of a sudden, one of them's not playing. The other one might not play tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So you just don't know with the Los Angeles Lakers with the players with AD and LeBron. But I believe they could beat Atlanta in this league. Without both of them. Well, no, I can't say without both of them, but without one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how they're going to play, quite frankly.
Yeah, I would put my money on them playing tonight and sitting tomorrow for this reason. Tomorrow, Atlanta has rest advantage because Atlanta's not in action tonight. I believe the Rockets are in a back-to-back in this spot, right? Haven't played last, if I'm not mistaken, right? I'm pretty sure.
They played on Saturday.
Sorry, okay, so they're both on equal rest tonight. That's right. Equal rest here for both teams, but tomorrow is where the Lakers are in rest disadvantage.
Yeah, so this is one of those things. And I will say, for Houston, even though they didn't play, they played in just a regular 4 quarters regulation game. They spending a lot of energy in that fourth quarter to come back only to fall short and lose by Brooklyn. Because they were down big.
Yeah.
Let's just so keep that in mind. So they put the effort in to get back into that game and try to win it, but they just couldn't pull it off.
At home is where they D up at home, and that's one thing they have is a really good defensive rating at home. Do these Houston Rockets? They sit third in home with defensive efficiency, allowing 108 points per 100 possessions. And they're probably going to want to play it slow. And I think if they want to play it slow, I think the Lakers will be a good dance partner because they probably want to go slow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's that's part of the reason why I took the under in this one.
That's right. Under 233. Let's see if there are some. Let's see. 233 is kind of where it is now. It's come down a little bit there. I see some 232s now hitting the marketplace. There is a 233.5. That's still on the board. There are some in some remote books out there. So do your line shopping. You can get 233.5, 233, and 232.5 right now. But you want to get the under here, 233.5. That's your best number there. So get it there tonight here. Lakers and Rockets tonight has a start time of 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Jamal, let's take a look over at pick.com for tonight's action. NBA on the board tonight, 12-game card. Jovan has just been nailing it here over in the NFL this year. You see the number 1,731 units of profit, showing great profit this year in the NBA as well. Jovan's showing great profit for this year over the past 30 days, 872 units of profit. All right, Jovan, what do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I got an NBA 3-pack going. My money back Monday 3-pack, NBA 3-pack. This past weekend, made money, had a monster Saturday, and productive, and looking to keep it going for this week and the start of a new week and get the wins in order. You could check out my 3-day, my 7-day, my 30-day, my yearly. Going long term is the way to go. It's just really, and with me, long-term success, you're gonna get your money's worth. Max, what other than handicappers for the 2-for-1 capital promotional, you're gonna get nothing but winners on that side. Two heads is better than one. You know what I mean? So it's all here. Sports that place to pick. But let's get it.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Jovan Burts over at Pick Dogs Premium. Great results, as you can see here from John. 1,713 units of profit. NFL also showing great profit last 30 days. All sports combined, 832 units of profit, all verified and documented over at Pick Dogs. Get on board. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. You can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, we just got late word. OG out tonight for the Knicks, so this word comes in. OG out as well. Let's see if the line has moved much. Now it still sits at 9.5. Not a whole bunch of line movement here with OG out.
Man, that's a hit because no Randall. You was looking for OG and Anunoby to step up. Now without him, who's gonna step up in that start? That's that 4-arm slot. You do have Hart, who can fill in. He's the, slash forward. Even
they're hoping for Precious Achua.
Oh my God! Oh, hey, listen, not an offensive force there.
Yeah, and NBA is, and I've learned this already. NBA is not next man up. It really isn't.
It's not. It's not. You get it to the end of the bench, and all type of crazy things happen. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, a 40-point lead could turn into 25 like that.
Yeah, that means the DNP's got to do some wind sprints before the game. The DNP guys will be doing some wind sprints tonight in pregame.
Yeah. Man. Hey, and that thing shot up like a rocket too throughout the day.
Oh, I know.
From its opening. So, I don't know. Gonna be having a lot of nail biting in that one.
Yep, it should be.
Or if you caught it early enough, you might want to play the middle. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. I saw 8s early at the Open, so we never know how it rolls and see where it rolls now. All right, Jovan, let everybody know. But you get on board with Jovan Burts, get his long-term passes. He's been on fire. And, of course, we'll be waiting here for Jovan for that video series coming up. He's been putting his thinking cap on, trying to put together a video series. Wants to be unique about it. And he'll when you're ready, he'll come out with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just I'm waiting for some well, I'm not waiting. I need to look at some equipment that I need to buy. As far as that goes, some new equipment. Because the old stuff is not what it is. I need to get something new. So there's a couple things I need to purchase, and then once I get that done, and work on some logistics of exactly what I want to do, then I'll be ready to go.
All right, guys, so make sure you like, subscribe, set notifications. When Jovan's ready, you'll get those plays up there. All right, Jovan, have a great rest of the night. We'll catch up with you again on Friday.
Absolutely. Have a great night. We'll see you on Friday.
We'll see you on Friday. Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Here on the drive-thru, we got James Clark ready to roll here. Catch him over at Pick Dog Spring. We'll bring James in right now. More NBA coverage from James. We'll bring him in here in just a second here. Let's see. We got him here. Here we go, James. James, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go tonight. Timberwolves and Thunder going head-to-head in divisional action. We see the Thunder here favored 2.5. Total sits 225.
Yeah, guys, you look at these two teams, and the Thunder are coming off of a loss against Detroit, a surprising loss. I think they're looking forward to this game, and the Timberwolves, they've lost 3 of their last 5, but I like the Timberwolves guys in this game. I think the Thunder have played a lot here lately. The Timberwolves haven't played since the Saturday. I think they're real well rested. I think Thunder gonna be here on a back-to-back. Like I said, they're coming off a loss against Detroit that they shouldn't have lost. They didn't look like themselves. And I think the same thing happens again tonight, guys. We're getting plus money with a really, really good Timberwolves team, guys, that I think, fully healthy. I think Connor is the only one out in this game for the Timberwolves. I think, I really like the Timberwolves in this game. I think head-to-head, they got the better athletes and the better players. Now, don't get me wrong, the Thunder has looked really good this season. I have backed the Thunder a lot and won a lot of money off the Thunder. I just don't think this spot is for them. And like I said a while ago, Timberwolves plus money, guys. I love this play. I think the Timberwolves win this game, guys.
All right, we got James here on the Timberwolves money line here, plus one. Do your line shot, plus 115. You can look around and try to get the best numbers here with this pick. Yeah, James, looking at this Thunder team, they do come off that embarrassing loss here against Detroit. You got to wonder if this is good. Would you rather see a win there, or are you ever worried about that bounce back after a bad loss?
I would like to see a win there. I wouldn't like to see, like, Detroit pretty much blew them out, and it wasn't close, like none. Like maybe first quarter close, but after that it wasn't close. I had Detroit because I thought there was too many points. Because again, I thought they was looking at this game right here. It's coming up with the Timberwolves, and I just think I like seeing a 4 or 5 point win. But they look sluggish, man. They look bad. I know they took their starters out at the end of the third. Nobody really played the fourth quarter because of the score, but they look sluggish, like they wasn't into it. I think they came out the same thing here against the Timberwolves. Like I said earlier, Timberwolves have been rested since Saturday. It to be back-to-back for the Thunder. But, I know Thunder's a young team, and it shouldn't affect them too much. But when we got Towns, Edwards, and Gobert, rest them for a couple of days, and then here comes the Thunder team, that they want to beat. Like I said, the Thunders look good. The Timberwolves look good at times. This last 5 games for the Timberwolves, they've been struggling. I think it's going to be their bounce back game. They got competition coming. Timberwolves plays a lot to their competition. If you haven't noticed throughout this season, that good teams, they play really good. They play really good against the Pelicans. The Thunder's one of the good teams they play really good against. And I think tonight, I just think they're going to be real well rested. And
we got James here on the T-Wolves here money line here against the Thunder tonight's action. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Premium for tonight's action and be on the board as well. Great results over the last 7 days. What do you have going over at Pick Premium?
Guys, I got a 3-pack going on. 3 plays that I really love. Been on fire here lately, guys. In the last 29 NBA plays, I've won 22 of the last 29. So get that 3-pack, guys. After we go 3-0, upgrade 3, 7, or 30 days. But like I said, guys, every time I'm on the show, we got the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any capper you see on the show, and we'll put some money in your pockets.
That's right, guys. Get on board with James Clark over at Pick Premium. You see the great results here for James. 1,035 units of profit last 7 days. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save 15% off. Those long-term passes, the way to go. All right, James, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. I hope to catch up with you later in the week.
All right, Tony. Appreciate you having me on the show. Let's catch this easy winner tonight, and I'll see y'all later on in the week. You got it. James Clark here on the drive through. Let's continue on. Let's bring in Ron Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick.com. Got the game coming up here in just a minute, so we'll bring him in right now. We're going to go right to the game. Of course, we said it's going to be a big game tonight, that Virginia Tech Duke game, so we'll get that game set up for Rod. He'll be ready to roll here. Here's your game, Rod. It's Duke and Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you look at this game here between Duke and Virginia Tech, and for me, I like Virginia Tech here. They're starting to turn things up. Is this Virginia Tech team winners of 3 straight basketball games, beating NC State, Boston College, and Georgia Tech handily in those games, and looking good doing it. When you look at the Duke side, sure, they've been playing pretty well, but not away. They've played a lot of home games this season, and on the road, only 3-2, 1-4 against that number on the road has been Duke. And you know what? When you look at Virginia Tech starting to shoot the ball, they shoot from 39% from beyond the arc, from the 3. Inside the arc, they're shooting at 52%. And then when they shoot the free throw, they're shooting that at 80%. Well, you look at Duke on the road, they only shoot 43%. So for me, Virginia Tech on the money line is the way to go here. Do you remember back in March 12, 2022? What did Virginia Tech do to Duke? They came in and upset them in the ACC final in that tournament to win the ACC championship. You know what? This Virginia Tech team just as good. They even have Hunter Couture, who was playing in that game back on March 12, 2022. And I think he has himself a good game. He's also got a couple other additions to that team this year. I like Virginia Tech here to get the
Rod on Virginia Tech here.
I don't think you need it.
He likes the money line. It's a good home team. We'll talk more about this game. Let's get to, we're hitting the butchie now. Let's get to Pick Dog Pim Rod. Action tonight on the board. 12 NBA. We got college hoops, a couple of actions. Nice Texas-Houston game as well as mid-majors. One on the ice. Rod has been on fire in 2024. 1,361 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dog Pim. What do you have going on over the site?
And over the site tonight, I got my Monday Insiders Info 3-pack, which includes my top play in the NBA, my top play on the ice, my top play in college basketball. And you look, those are the 3 sports that we've been crushing to start the year. All of those plus money over the last 30 days, and we're going to continue to roll, crushing the books. So jump aboard. Let's continue to crush the books. I had a 2 or 3 day yesterday, but hey, we ended the day with 2 nice winners. We're going to continue that here this week.
That's right, guys.
So jump aboard. Let's crush the books.
Get on board with Rod so I can get the long-term pass. Remember that 1-month pass includes the Super Bowl and all the college hoops, NHL, NBA, with all these sports overlapping. The best time to get on board with a 1-month pass. Rod has been on fire. You know, Rod, going back to this Duke game, you look at their shooting percentages here in conference. It hasn't been up to standard with this team.
No, it hasn't been as up to standard with this team in conference play. And for me, Duke on the road is a scary situation for me. 1-4 against that number, and then you want to lay 4. And as we've seen, road teams this season have been tough. These home teams have come through and laying points on the road. Not where I want to be putting my money. It's definitely been tough sledding. I remember early on in the season, it was like, man, they can cover that. No, they can't.
No.
It doesn't seem like they can cover anything on the road. These favorites on the road, I don't have the exact number in front of me. Those got to be one of those big Al numbers. Sure, he's got big favorites on the road have not been covering this season.
That's right. Even IUPUI covered at home yesterday, Ron.
IUPUI covered at home.
15 at home against Wright State.
Yeah, right? There's home teams this season in college hoops has been the way to go. Home has definitely been.
And sometimes the schedule's sneaky, because I know some of these teams that need money, and they go on the road. I know like Northern Arizona was a team that needed money. They played 17 of the first, what was it? That was 14-17 on the road. Played well at home. Started conference season at home. Won both of those games as big dogs because their numbers look so bad. But you got to go look deeper in the number and realize that some of these teams that need money for their programs, they don't really going to make it on the football. So they got to go out on the road and play these big boys on the road, and makes their numbers look bad.
Right. Because of the strength of schedule. So you look at some of those, you got to be careful, because you look at some of those numbers, and some of those don't always tell the true tale on some of these teams. So you have to deep dive and look and see who they face, who they play, and you'll see sometimes some of these teams, it's like, oh, look at that gauntlet of teams they played. Okay, I can understand why they lost 6 straight. And
they're in deep red on Ken Palm, right? They're in deep red and everything.
Yeah, right? They're deep red on the Ken Palm, and you're like, oh, what's wrong with this team? And then you look, and you're like, oh, well, look who they had to play. And it's like some of those teams you're looking like, hey, we only lost by 8 points. I was like, man, that was a good effort against like a UConn, and you only lose by 8. Like, come on, there's just teams that the numbers early on in the season don't match. It's conference play time, and that's when the numbers really matter.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Rod, we're getting close to the All-Star break in the NHL. What do you look for heading in this week in the NHL?
For teams that rest, right? You look this week. You want teams that are been those nagging injuries that you get that you still play through. Well, a lot of these teams, some of these teams, I feel sorry for something. Columbus has a schedule where they still have to play a back-to-back in the next 2 days, where everybody else is supposed to be off. San Jose, same thing. They start a game tomorrow, and then they have to play again on Wednesday, back-to-back. Some of these teams are only going to get 6-7 days, but that 10 days of rest that you usually get, that's what you need. Just look at the Oilers. You won 16 games in a row, and now people look at it going, oh, is that going to mess up the whole chemistry of everything? Nah, because those nagging injuries that you played through, those things will heal up. You come out, and it's like a fresh new start. You don't look at the 16 games you won coming into it. You start going, this is game 1, and you're ready to hammer going forward. I think it's like a fresh new start for your team. I think it was coming through. Watch out, man.
You've talked about the weak goaltending this year. Is there anybody in the AHL that can get called up and can make a run for a team? Is anybody out there?
Not really.
Not really.
They've
used those bullets already.
Yeah, the goalie situation in the NHL is bleak. It's tough. There's teams that are look at Carolina. They're just struggling to try to find one goalie. They're having the injury bug this year, where they had a couple guys. They started off the year with Anderson going out, and then Header, their young star, he goes out. He gets hit, conked in the head. He's in concussion protocol, and then you're having to sign Martin from Columbus to try to fill the gap in your goalie situation, and that guy's over 3 goals against and 880 save percentage. But look, he stood his head and made a big save. It was like a new, fresh start for him last game, and I was like, wow, I didn't expect him to stand on his head the way he did. Sometimes you get some of these young goalies that come up and they shine. Some of them,
yeah, not so good. All right, there we go. If they're from
with Seattle, he wasn't the starter at the start of the year with Seattle, and he turned that team around. Their goalie got hurt. Out he went. The Gord came up, stepped up. They went on a big streak, still rolling. Now they're fighting for who's going to be the starter and who's not. So NHL, long way. NBA, long way to go.
Long way to go. It's a long way to go. Still a lifetime left up there. All right, Rod.
I can't wait for March Madness. There's so many teams that can win it. I'm telling you, there's at least I've got to go with at least 10 that can win it. Like, you can't. There's not one clear-cut team that I'm looking at that's running away with it.
Duke has been held scoreless in the first minute and a half of this game. Already 2-0 Virginia. That's the way it's going to go. Duke's going to have trouble. Duke's going to have trouble scoring. Any bonuses out there, Rod, tonight?
Let me look. I don't want to step on someone's toes and be like, hey. let me quickly look at what else we got going in college. There's a bunch, right?
Yeah.
So, the other one I looked at, I like, where is it? The Privateers are playing. Who are they playing? Yeah, see, that's a late game. Take Lamar. Lamar at home, 8-1 at home this season, 6-0-1 at home against that number. And the Privateers on the road this season, 1-10 on the road this season. 2-7 against that number in their last 10. Privateers are awful. I like Lamar to whoop them up, win by 10+.
There you go.
The 9.5. Lamar.
The
Privateers on the road. Woo! They had a this year. Woo! Awful team right this season. Team I would usually back, and I like them, but not this season. Just keep fading. They've been awful.
Got them on the fade train. Then Rod's fade train.
Yeah, they are on the fade train. They are. Grandpa Simpsons plays somebody too. I'm looking at Grambling. I think Grambling can get the cover. You look at Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Arkansas Pine Bluff, another team on the road, 2-8, 3-7 against that number, 4-11 on the number this season. Lay it with Grambling at home. Arkansas Pine Bluff on the road. There you go. There's two I like.
A couple of bonuses there from Rod. All right, Rod, let everybody know what you got over. We find out we have at Pick Dogs, but we also got that video series you're working on for that card tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. There's only 2 hockey tomorrow, so definitely make sure you like, subscribe. You'll get notified when that content drops. Only 2 light card, but still, definitely find some winners over there in hockey.
That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, set those notifications.
Get notified when everything drops, because there's a whole lot of NBA, and so Jay's got his stuff going, and Brad with his series. It's tough to find a 3-team parlay at Tony when there's only 2 games.
That's only 2 games. That's right. It's a challenge this time of the year right now when we're getting into the All-Star break. So there you go. All right, Rod.
Really tough. Really tough. Might have to break out a little 3-teamer somewhere else as well over the All-Star break, because it's just like it's really tough to give out when there's no hockey going. So
absolutely, it's a little tough right now. All right, Rod. Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Definitely have yourself a good night, Tony. Good luck, everybody, with your bets. Crush the books. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Catch you tomorrow. Rod Zawacky here on the drive. Let's continue on. And let's get to the recap. Then we'll get my play. My play starts a little later. We'll go ahead and get into the recap here tonight. We had Brian here, Magic plus 4.5 against Mavericks. David was on Alabama State plus 5 against Texas Southern. Jay, Celtics laid the 9 against the Pelicans. Brad was on the Knicks, laid the 10 against the Hornets. Jovan, Lakers, Rockets under 233. James liked the T-Wolves money line plus 115 against the Thunder. Rod on Virginia Tech plus the 4 against Duke. I'll be on the Grizzlies plus 10 here against the Sacramento Kings. And what I like the most here, let's see which one I like. I like that Virginia Tech, but it's already started. Too late to go that route. Let's see here. Which one did I like the most in this one? We go Magic here. Yeah, let's go Magic with Brian here. Plus 4.5 here against the Dallas Mavericks. Just want to make sure, check my note on something on that game. That game, let's see here. Let's see if we can find it again here. Mavericks and the Pelicans, right? That's the game we're looking at here, plus the points. I believe that's the one I like the most. That is, let me verify that. Look at my notes on this game. I think we're right here on it. Hang on. Well, we've got a lot of games in the Midwest today on that 8 o'clock start time. Let's see here. And I will, I'm going to agree there with the Magic in that one, plus 4.5 against the Knicks. All right, let's continue on here, guys. Give us your plays in the chat, the one you like the most. Give us your best bet if you would. Let's continue on here. Tim, we're going to go. Actually, this is not my game, so let me get it to you here in just a second. Well, you guys already know what my game was, but I just want to make sure I have it correct here on the screen. So we'll get it here for you in just a second. Let's go through the rundown here and get you the right game tonight, because we're going to the Grizzlies, the ugly dog again. That's been kind of the theme for me this week. If you watched the show yesterday in the morning, the ugly dogs were coming in, and we're going to look at another ugly one here with this Grizzlies team. Grizzlies and the Kings. We're going ugly dog today with the Grizzlies here, plus the 10 here against Sacramento. And as we said before, with this Memphis team, all they can do is defend. They don't have the players here to really try and outscore you, so they got to put together a really good game plan. You have a lot of injuries, as we know, with the Grizzlies, so you got a lot of these role players, reserve players, who are probably obedient players, but they'll follow the script. So the coach puts together the game plan defensively, and they run it. They got the number yesterday against Indiana. I think they'll do the same thing again tonight and get that big number here against the Sacramento Kings, the Kings team that has had their issues defensively. And again, I think there's some value in some of these defensive-minded teams that we kind of just say, oh, they have no shot, they're out of it. But when you lose a game and don't cover, you get value on this team, and you get it again here. We take a look here at Memphis over their past 5 games, holding teams 112 points per 100 possessions, a minus 3.5 net rating. Sacramento on the road gave up 114.5 points per 100 possessions. They only have a plus 1.2 net rating on the road. Grizzlies holding teams is just 46.5% the past 5 games. Let's take that 10 here with the Memphis Grizzlies. Give me a team that defends against a team that doesn't defend. And again, Grizzlies, again, all they can do, they're not looking for them to win games. They're just looking for them to compete, not get embarrassed like they did yesterday. They got under the number in a 6-point loss to Indiana. That works again here against the Sacramento Kings. Take the plus 10 here with the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, guys, over at Pick Dodge Premium, I have a best bet on the NBA as well as a 3-pack with a couple from college hoops and NBA in a 3-pack. So 4 premium plays up there for me. Also get long-term. I have a 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. Multi-capper promotions here as well. All right, that's going to do it here for the drive-thru, guys. Make sure you tune again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Remember, guys, get your best bets into the chat. We'll do it all over again. Remember, it always gets started with that morning show during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You got Mitch, you got Jay, you got Chris with the morning show. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes betting tools show. Also, is roundtable discussion with professionals. Of course, we got Jay with his NBA Jam session. Also, Chris with his wraparound from the NHL. Rod Zawacky goes A to Z with the NHL with his video series, also parlays, and when there's big cards here. Also, too, we got Ron Romanelli with his college basketball breakdown, bank shot breakdown for college hoops. We also have Nick Mick in first half from the NBA. Mills with his UFC rundown as well. His prop shop is available to you here every day here on the drive-thru. Brian Contrarian plays from Brian. Make sure you check those out as well. Lots of great content here on that Pick Dogs YouTube channel. Costi with his sharp trading plays. All access Big Al McMorty. Also against the public with our man Dana Lane with his video series. So great content there. Brad Francis's parlay videos. You want to catch those up as well. So lots of great content here, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. When these videos drop, you get them in real time. Get the best numbers. All right, that's going to do it here on the show tonight. Let's take a look at the chat out there. Ron Crawford liking the Memphis Grizzlies again, +10. Ramon here on the Celtics with Jay. OKC money line here with the futon bets in there. Ryotachi likes the Clippers. Again, we didn't cover tonight. The Clippers there. I agree with you there, Ray. Also coming in here, J-Man under 29.5 points. Donovan Mitchell or Rogers. Let's see here. Our man Rod coming in here as well. Let's see what any other players we got from the chat tonight here. Let's see here. We got let's see if I can find any more. J-Man alternate line Celtics 10.5 from J-Man coming in with his picks. I think that's going to do it here. We got the Donovan Mitchell play in here as well. Lots of content here from the show tonight, guys. So great to have you guys with us. That's going to do it for tonight. We got your best bets in there. Everyone's best bets. All right, we got them in already, guys. That's going to do it for the show. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight and wake up.